All right, what's going on YouTube? It's Matt back again here. Wanted to do a video actually covering some of the negatives of medical device sales. I know previously in the fact, I had done a lot of videos about medical device sales, being positive, which ultimately I think it is. And like, I love this career, but also at the same time, I want to give some insight into the things that might not be so glamorous. So if someone is considering it, they can be well informed. So my name is Matt. I'm currently a spine rep with Medtronic. I have about 2 years, I would say, in the medical device space, so definitely not a veteran by any means. But if you want more medical device updates, news, you want to chat with me, just go ahead and leave a subscription down there below and the like button. That does help me out tremendously as I'm trying to grow this thing a little bit more and be a little bit more diligent about growing this now ever so than before. So the first thing that I wanted to get into would be the work-life balance. So this can actually be incredible or it can be terrible. So it depends on your territory and your division. So for example, if you're a veteran rep, you have a bunch of people working underneath you, they can sort of manage your accounts and you're sort of like the head honcho in the area. Work-life balance probably be awesome. But if you are one of the person that is essentially doing the grunt work for that guy, or it's a territory that's understaffed, but you have a lot of business, the work-life balance can be awful. And this also depends on your division, right? Because if you're an instrumentation, you got to sit there for the cases, sit the whole time. Sometimes they can be very long. But if you're in another niche product like durable medical equipment, something like that, it might be a little bit easier. You might not have to sit in those cases all day. So that's something to consider, whichever one you like a little bit more. Another drawback of medical device sales is you will be rejected, and you will be rejected often. Nothing feels worse, especially in the beginning before you get used to it, when you go into an office and they're like, oh no, we like the rep we've been using forever. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But something you gotta know is you gotta expect that to happen. And a good trick that I used when I was originally getting into this was, if I do this long enough, that's gonna become me. If you do it long enough, the offices will root for you and they'll be kicking people out for you. So it really just depends how long it takes you to make an impression on them, be likable, and, provide good service to them before they really let you back there. But don't expect it all in the beginning. Physicians, especially, neurosurgeons, spine surgeons, some of the ones that I work with, you got to sort of prove yourself to them before they're going to let you back there. So just know that it takes time. And this is one of the hardest things I think is to do in medical device sales. And one of the biggest drawbacks is taking out a long-standing competitive rep. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it can never happen. And sometimes, you just got to work your magic on the doctor essentially and get the cases that he'll give you when he gives them to you. And then, when the long-standing competitive rep retires, maybe you could soak up all that business. Who knows? It's really just about forming these impressions on these doctors and making yourself valuable and them knowing that you are very knowledgeable on the product. Because sometimes the doctors really like who they like using, and sometimes there's really nothing you can do to change that. You obviously got to keep trying. It's your job. Do whatever you can to get in there. But you have to think through, if you were the physician, would you want a new person coming in every time rather than the person that you've used for 10 years? They know each other inside and out. You just got to think like a physician in that sense. But it can be a drawback because it is very hard. So one other thing that I was going to say is sometimes, full commission can be a gift and a curse. If you're making a lot of money on full commission, it's awesome. You don't have a ceiling. You can pick up a couple more accounts, make more money, etc. But if you're also on full commission and you don't have that large book of business that you're hoping for, your paychecks can be extremely, extremely small. So know what you're walking into before, read the details of your contract, make sure that, sometimes a lot of companies will give you a guarantee for like the first year or something like that, which essentially means a base salary. I would definitely do this unless you're walking into a bunch of business that's already there, because if you're going into something full commission from the beginning and you don't really know the lay of the land, I think that's a recipe for disaster, at least in the first 6 months to a year. And another drawback to medical device sales is you're at the mercy of your products with the company that you work for, etc. So whatever's in your bag, so to speak, or that means, what you can sell, is going to be limited by the company that you're in. Sometimes other companies just, point blank have products that are better than others and are superior to yours. So that is, it's hard to compete against sometimes, but a lot of times, like, each company has a pro for their device and a con for their device. So it's really just about finding that happy medium and bringing that to the doctor and seeing if the doctor likes the benefit of your product versus the con of the competitor and vice versa. And the last one is going to be quota attainment and hitting. So obviously, in sales, you are going to have a number and a quota that you have to hit. I was so nervous in the beginning when I took my first medical device sales job, which wasn't with Medtronic, it was with a distributorship. But I was thinking in the beginning, I'm like, oh my God, if I don't hit my quota in like 2 months, am I done kind of thing? Which, you know, at least for me, it wasn't like that, and it's still not even like that in Medtronic. You know, we did a good job at like hitting our quota. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I can't remember the last time we didn't hit it. But even in those first beginning stages when you're growing, you know, as long as they know that you're working, that you're out there, and that you're doing your thing, a lot of times they'll be lenient with you and give you the time of day. So I wouldn't worry about that too much in the beginning, but you know, if you're more of a veteran rep and you've been there for a while and then your quota's starting to tank, then you know, it might be a little bit more worrisome. But all in all, that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can. I'll see you next time.